Hello, air signs. Welcome to your weekly reading. This is for April 24th through the 30th. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to get an overall animal spirit oracle card for the overall energy of the week. Okay. Then I'm going to pull from the Akashic Tarot. We're going to look at what's working against you, what's working for you, and then what is unseen. And then I'll clarify that with the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot. And then I'll pull some extra oracle cards. Let me tell you all, these readings this week are insanely deep. The collective general reading that I did this morning on my TikTok live, you can watch the replay here on YouTube. It's on my playlist. But the general collective reading I did this morning was deep. And it's interesting how it is resonating in these readings as well. So I don't know what's going on, but it's good. They're just super deep. So let's see what your overall animal spirit card is. And then we will get started with the tarot. Let's see, what do we need to know for my air signs? Ooh, we have fire ants. Interesting. I'm going to grab the book right quick so we get the full meaning of this card. Okay, so the fire ant says aggression, rigid thinking, following orders. Fire ant energy flares up without us noticing. It's the force that attracts us to people and situations that feed our imbalances rather than those that counter them. Gossiping and blaming are a few indicators that misaligned fire ant energy is at play. You may also find yourself stewing on a person or situation, only making things worse. How can you break free from the drama and cool down? Fire ants are surprisingly sensitive. Don't pretend the heat isn't getting to you. It's really interesting because I was talking about that this morning on the live on TikTok. I was talking about, who do you spend your time with? Are they people that love to complain? Are they people that love to, complain about their relationship, complain about, their lack of money and just, really low vibe? So you are who you surround yourself with. So if you're surrounding yourself with people that are just nothing but drama, then that's what your life is going to be, nothing but drama. Okay. And we are in Mercury retrograde. So if you're dealing with a situation that is resurfacing and it's, upsetting, it's making you mad, making you sad, whatever it is, this is a time for you to revisit that and evaluate what it taught you about yourself. Instead of just stewing over it, you're meant to learn and to grow from it. Okay, so let's see what the tarot wants to say. And that could really, even the fire ant energy can be like a whole collective energy of just feeding into the drama that's going on collectively right now, instead of being one that is holding space for us to evolve and understanding that, all the stuff in the darkness needs to come to the light in order for us to get rid of it. That's how it has to happen. Otherwise, we would never change anything. We'd think it was all hunky-dory. Okay, so let's see what's working against you. We have the King of Keys. What's working for you? The Seven of Scrolls in reverse, intricacies and industry. And what is unseen? The Five of Scrolls, diversity. Interesting. Okay, so let me put this deck down. So what is working against you is we have the King of Keys. Okay, now, when we consider things that could be working against us, it's always like perceived or something that we're doing, okay? Something that we've created. Now, a lot of the times it is unknowingly, but that's okay. When you acknowledge it, then you can correct it, okay? So when we have the King of Keys as an energy that could be working against you, this would be like you're too focused on money, okay? It could be there's an issue with a guy in your life right now that might be blocking your route to abundance, okay? When we're focusing too much on financial gain, it becomes like a, kind of like how you would lead like a donkey, like dangle the carrot out in front of them, but they never get to the carrot, but they keep moving forward, but they're never getting that carrot, Okay? That's how it will start to feel like I'm chasing money and it's running. So you don't want to do that. But let's pull a couple of tarot cards and let's see what is going to, okay, what's going to clarify. We have the Nine of Wands in reverse. Okay. I don't normally, I'm not one that tries to make them flip. That's what I'm trying to say. But if it flies out like that on its own, then okay. Let's see what else we need to know. So the Nine of Wands in reverse indicates there is a weakness. It could be that, again, there is a person in your life, a male, who is blocking your abundance. And you have this like weakness for him every time he comes back around. We are in Mercury retrograde, so it doesn't surprise me if this does happen. Let's see. Temperance. Yeah. You know, it could be that you're dealing with, hang on, I've got to let this soak in. If you're chasing, you know, if you're chasing money, if you're trying to build your financial security, you actually want to be able to settle into your power more than like going after, because what you're doing is, again, you're chasing that carrot and you're never going to get there. But if you sit still and you let it come to you and you be patient and you focus on what, you know, is bringing you happiness, how can you develop harmony within yourself and, you know, move towards what you love, then that's when money finds you. Okay. I want to see if anything else pops up before I move forward. Because the Nine of Wands in reverse, again, can indicate weakness. Like I don't know if I have the strength for whatever it is that you're dealing with. If you're dealing with somebody at work who is a disturbing force, then it's kind of like, you know what? Bide your time. Come back to you and decide what you need to do from here. Okay, it's like be patient, because things will start to play out and you don't want to play into this drama. You don't want to be one of those people. So this is also why we have the Seven of Scrolls in reverse here as something that could be working for you. There are details of situations that you can't see. Okay, the universe, like you have this plan, this energetic blueprint, and when we come to life, we forget all about it. And so there's details like going on behind the scenes that you can't quite see. So whenever we have a disruptive force come in, it's showing us something that, okay, there needs to be a course alteration. And there needs to be a sense of patience, because we have temperance here with the Seven of Scrolls in reverse. So it's like things might not be happening as quickly as you want them to be, right? Especially if you're chasing money, okay? And it's like, slow down, because things are developing. We have the Queen of Swords in reverse. Yeah. And the Three of Swords. It's frustrating. I get it. If you're dealing with a male, no matter if you're female or male, if you're dealing with a male that's a problem in your life, whether it be work or just relationship-wise, this really is like tell you, you know, practice the pause. We have Mercury going retrograde, so it's going to have you feeling nostalgic. And you don't want to be one of those people that runs back to the past, because that is going to just revamp a cycle that you need to go through, okay? And so if you know that if this person comes back around that you have a weakness, why don't you block them? You know, why don't you take a pause before you think about responding? Don't use knee-jerk reactions. I apologize for the noise outside. It's the kids getting dropped off with the bus. And, you know, and I'm glad you're getting this reading if you do have somebody that comes back around, because what you're not seeing is like there's no real agenda here with this person. And so this is like getting you to see the truth of the situation, really, if it's relationship-wise. And if you're wanting to, come into financial abundance, you can't be in a place where people are addicted to drama. Because remember, like I said, who you surround yourself with is who you're going to be. So you've got to stand in your own power and go your own way and build your own financial, stability, get a group that inspires you and that you can learn from. And that way you're in that high vibe energy to where you are ambitious for growth. And this is telling you that if you're not patient and you don't let things fall into place, then this is going to throw you into like a whirlwind again of like this frustration. So think about like if you get bit by all these fire ants and you're like feeling like this, you're in pain. Okay. And I hope this is making sense. If not, feel free to ask questions in the comments. I start channeling messages and whatnot, and sometimes I just start like just talking, and I have to like check in to make sure it's making sense. I want to see what else pops up before we move on. And if you don't, if there's something that's not working out right now, you're getting an opportunity to make a new plan. Okay, you're always getting an opportunity. That's why we're in Mercury retrograde, because you need to evaluate things. You need to revisit, revise, all of that, okay? Because it's not meant to punish you. Like, we're not supposed to be afraid of Mercury retrograde. It is a checkpoint throughout the year for us to go, okay, so what happened from the last retrograde till now? What did I experience? What did I learn about myself? What do I need to revise, revisit, revamp? It's like, what do I need to redo? Like, as far as like, how am I learning from this? Okay. It is not a time for, drama to come back around and you jump right back into it, even though that's whatever people desperately seek. But I think a lot of us are waking up from that. We realize that something in the past is meant to be in the past. And what I love is what is unseen is the Five of Scrolls, diversity. You have so much more out there to experience. Okay, so, let's talk about relationships. If you're going through a situation to where something isn't working out like you planned, that's actually working for you. Okay, because there's something else out there that's better for you. Again, people and situations that come into our lives are lessons. They're experiences for us to go through in order to prove to ourselves that we can overcome it, that we can love ourselves through it, that we can trust ourselves, and that we know that we have a higher objective here. Okay? So, don't just focus on one person. Don't just focus on one thing. When you focus on one thing, then that definitely becomes your weakness. And what's interesting is whenever we go through some type of loss as far as relationships, whether it be, friendship, family, lover, we automatically put that person on a pedestal and we put ourselves on the ground. And we have to stop doing that, okay? Because, just because something doesn't work out doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. It just means that y'all weren't on the same vibration. There was a lesson there. There we go. 5 of Cups in reverse. What else we need to know is the Hierophant. Yeah. Exactly what I was just saying. Swear to God. This loss here is meant to happen because it's part of your higher learning. I mean, every relationship, every experience that you go through, every loss is a lesson. The Hierophant is the teacher, is the spiritual teacher, and gives you the esoteric knowledge. Okay? So this is showing you something on a higher level and telling you that everything is just a lesson. Everything is a transition. Life is ever changing, ever evolving, and it never stops until you go back to the other side and then you decide to come back and have another life if that's what you choose. Okay, so I hope this, like, these readings this week are so, like, really, like,